What's good, guys? If this is the first video you're seeing from me in a while, that's because my power was out because of Hurricane Irma. So, I am getting to some stories kind of late. So if you want to hear my take on it after the fact, here it is. During Hurricane Irma, well, after it, and me having no power, I still was able to find out about the situation. I saw that some YouTubers had been making videos about it, and I was able to watch a few of those videos. Now, if you don't know about this situation, which I'd be surprised if you haven't heard about it, especially if you're somebody who watches me, I'm sure you know about this kind of thing going on, right? So what happened was we had a black child that was lynched, or they tried to lynch him, a bunch of white teens, and you know, I a lot of people have already talked about this situation, and that's kind of actually what I want to make this video about. A lot of the black YouTubers that I've seen that talked about this whole situation, because there was a particular thing that they were saying, most of them, the majority of them, that I kind of had a problem with, and I've kind of had a problem with this narrative going on over and over, this racism is taught thing. It makes me want to throw up almost. It makes me almost physically ill. I hate when I hear this racism is taught thing. It's really disturbing to me, because I don't know how many times or how long it is that white people, young, old, male, female, have to practice white supremacy for black people to understand the concept. Because these are pro-black people who are saying this stuff, to understand the concept that this is an innate thing in them. They do not need to be taught. It does not matter where they are. We have PewDiePie, who is from a foreign country, that's over here. He's over here practicing white supremacy that we could say originated over here in America. He's practicing it in Sweden. He doesn't need, you don't he didn't you think he needed to be sat down and had a full course in white supremacy. I don't like this narrative that we go along with, because it's not beneficial to us. It's beneficial to white people, which is why so many of them will jump on this bandwagon. Anytime you start talking about racism is taught, you'll see all the white people going, yeah, yeah, yeah. They'll never disagree with that, because that's beneficial to them. Because as long as we continue to preach that the racism is taught, we won't realize that this is something that they have to do, and it doesn't matter where they are, who they are, how old they are, how young they are. This is something that they're going to practice. We don't need to blame their parents. We need to blame the DNA. Okay, this is an innate concept. If I had a baby bear, or I had some type of animal cub, and that cub was to attack me or someone else, even if I raised that cub up myself, I wouldn't be sitting over here like, oh man, another bear must have snuck in the night and taught him how to be aggressive and taught him to attack humans or something like that. I would understand that that is something that is innate in him. That is an innate characteristic of that creature, just like white supremacy is an innate characteristic to them. Okay, they don't need to be told how to or to practice white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that we continue to keep trying to preach this message and say, oh, the parents. No, the DNA. That's what needs to be blamed. And if there were any parents in this situation that should actually be blamed for anything, it would be the parents of this so-called biracial boy. It would be the parents of this child here, this black child, because I don't understand, because from what I've heard, New Hampshire is 96% white. So you took your child, because here's something I wouldn't do, and I would hope you guys wouldn't do this either. Would you take your children, pack up your family, and go move in with a den of lions? Would you go and get in an enclosure with a bunch of hyenas? No, you wouldn't, because you know that they are dangerous to humans. You know that they attack humans, and that they will do so without being provoked. You know that there's no real, but besides, no matter how much camaraderie you have with them, they will come out of nowhere and may possibly attack you or kill your family, because that's the instincts that they practice. So the fact that this black person, whoever they are in the relationship, would go and move into a neighborhood surrounded by these predators, and be surprised that their child was turned into prey and was preyed on by these so-called children, that they're the ones I feel like should be blamed here, because I would never just leave my child somewhere with a bunch of lion cubs or a bunch of hyena cubs or anything like that, because I would expect my child to be attacked by these animals. You can't really form that type of relationship with them. And now we're seeing the New Hampshire police are over here, they're trying to protect them. I heard a statement, the New Hampshire police saying, oh no, we shouldn't, villainize these kids because it's just one mistake in their life. And they're sitting up here not wanting to release information, and they're protecting them because, yeah, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times we need to see this. Cave cops are gonna defend cave kids. That's what they do. They've always done that, and that's why the only option and the only solution is to completely separate from them, because they're going to do what? They're going to practice white supremacy, they're going to preach white supremacy, they're going to promote white supremacy, and they're going to protect white supremacists. It's the same in and out. All of them work together in unison, okay? They all work in unison. So you're the only person that I have a problem with here is the black person who chose to sit up with a caucazoid. I have a child with a caucazoid, move into a caucazoid neighborhood, and now they want the caucazoid police to prosecute or persecute the caucazoid children when you chose to go and live with these lions and these animals and these predators and these prey. As a matter of fact, there's a story right over here. I won't do a full video on it, but just look at this. White people commit welfare fraud, and they love to commit welfare fraud and partake in welfare, and then go and tell other people, because projection, go and tell other people that they're on welfare. Just like how they love to call people monkeys, but they're the only ones with monkey DNA. But regardless, here's the story. It says white people commit welfare fraud. State creates amnesty program so they won't go to jail. Typical, you know what I'm saying? Typical, because caucazoids are going to protect caucazoids. That's why the best thing and the only thing that we can do is to separate. Hear me now. There's only one thing that we can do at this particular point, and that is to separate from them.